Okay, first of all, let me say my sons are watching Mario on YouTube, like on the other side of the door. So if you hear a bunch of ding 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 or whatever, that's what that is. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Joy. On my channel, I talk about things going on in pop culture. I talk about things that affect Black women. I talk about Sims 4 and I play Sims 4. I also play violin occasionally. I feel the need to assure you guys once again that I'm not naked. Why is this becoming like a regular thing? I don't know. I have a spaghetti strap dress on. Okay, let me show you. It's kind of cute. Oh my gosh. I literally just flashed the camera. That was a little chaotic. Oof. Okay, so why are we here today? You tell me. Like, I want to talk about fun stuff, but it's always some like fuck shit going on the internet. Since I started this channel, I just realized like I'm really passionate about a lot of things, and what I was doing before the channel was forcing my husband to listen to my rants, and now I don't have to do that anymore, and I don't want to go back to that. Okay. We're going to talk about Beyonce and those diamonds.
It's the living, it's hot, hot, running away. It's the living, it's hot, hot.
Tiffany and Company, the illustrious jewelry company, recently announced that they were partnering with Beyonce and Jay-Z and putting them in their ads. Honestly, all very confusing to me. When I first saw it, I literally was like, oh, okay, cool. I had literally no thoughts. I was like, oh, that dress is pretty, Beyonce, and moved the fuck on. What celebrities do does not affect me. So initially there weren't that many reactions. I mean, there were like stan accounts that were reposting the pictures and they were getting excited about the video. There's gonna be like, what is it? There's gonna be a short film released on September 15th. There just isn't a lot going on in Hollywood right now because of the pandemic. And so, you know, whatever, something to look forward to watch. Okay, there are articles that praise Beyonce for her professionalism because she sat still for 4 hours at the piano. And so everything seemed pretty non-eventful until suddenly, oh yeah, and then some of this. So let me just say, I admit that I was rather surprised when I first saw these posts and saw that Beyonce was collaborating with Tiffany and Company, because Beyonce over the last few years has been she's been very much an island. Like, she uses her own production company to shoot her own videos. She's not on a record label, right? I don't even know. Does Beyonce have a record label? Parkwood Entertainment, I guess, is her own label. Yeah, so she has her own label. She has her own production company. She's created her own clothing line, and it's like very much, she is just her own thing. So then to see her suddenly not doing her own thing was like, oh, okay. I had no thoughts except that, okay, this is different. That's it. This is different. If you're gonna criticize Beyonce, you have to dig deep. And that's the issue I have, is why do people want to dig deep? Why do you want to criticize her so badly? But I was surprised that she was partnering with Tiffany and Company, because I have not heard about Tiffany and her company for a hot minute, okay? Since Breakfast at Tiffany's. That's the last time anybody's really been checking for Tiffany's, if we're being honest. Breakfast at Tiffany's is an iconic movie about a broke socialite falling in love with a broke writer. It really ain't that riveting of a story, to be honest. But Audrey Hepburn was cute, okay, and she served looks, and so it became an iconic film. Audrey Hepburn actually ended up being one of the individuals who wore this illustrious diamond that Tiffany's somehow, for some reason, is like hoarding in their vault. Like, why? I don't know, but they've been hoarding this yellow diamond that they got like way long time ago, like 1870 something. And so Audrey Hepburn is one of the women who wore it. The first woman to wear it was some random person. What her name? Mrs. E. Sheldon Whitehouse. Child, I don't know who that is. Then randomly Lady Gaga wore it in 2019 to an award show. Like, okay. And then Gal Gadot played a character who wore it in a movie, and I don't think the movie's out yet. And then now we have Beyonce. So they don't bring this necklace out for just anybody. This necklace be on ice, like almost permanently, and for some reason they put it on Beyonce. And I mean, obviously we know what it is. They know that her name carries weight. They know that her name gets in the headlines, and Tiffany wants headlines. I don't think think it went exactly the way they thought it would. They genuinely did not think it was gonna get this bad, because this is not the first time that Tiffany's has partnered with celebrities. Tiffany and Company started partnering with celebrities back in 2016, and they did it intentionally because they're trying to appeal to a younger audience. Tiffany's is an old brand and nobody's checking for her. Like, okay, we're going to Pandora. Not me, because I don't wear jewelry. For the girls who love it, they going to Pandora. Tiffany's brand ambassadors include stars like Rosie from Blackpink, reality star and model Kendall Jenner, actress Tracy Ellis Ross, and Lupita Nyong'o, to name a few. When these women were announced as partnering with Tiffany's, there was no pushback, no outrage, no tweets. Okay, I have the receipts to prove it. Nobody was talking about these people and their involvement with Tiffany's. Nobody cares about Tiffany's. Nobody cares about this diamond. Y'all care about Beyonce. Forgive me if I have a hard time believing that you guys genuinely care about the way diamonds are mined, because nobody was talking about this prior to the day that Beyonce was announced to be partnering with them. I have a problem with the fact that people wait until Beyonce's name is attached to something to start protesting the thing. Like, it's giving very much haterade. It's not giving what you think it's giving. Whatever Beyonce does suddenly becomes the thing that we should not be doing. When Beyonce did the Lion King musical, suddenly African Americans shouldn't be exploiting their African roots for money. But no one had ever said that before, especially since Lion King has been a thing for like 30 years. And there were Black people, African Americans associated with that movie. Nobody had no thoughts. White people have been associated with Lion King since the first original Lion King came out, and nobody cares. Nobody cares when white people do stuff. And I'm gonna keep saying it till I'm blue in the face, okay? I made a video talking about that, talking about how y'all let white people get away with everything. But then when a Black person does, especially specifically a Black woman, suddenly you have all of this anger, all of this emotion, and all of this opinion. But it's giving haterade, like I said. You're diluting your point by only making it with certain people. You're diluting your point. When she rebooted her Ivy Park, her last 3 or 4 jobs that have been wildly successful, suddenly we care about capitalism. I'm so lost right now. Like, make it make sense. Y'all the same ones rushing to the store, buy Christmas gifts every year, birthday gifts. You are the same ones who have no problem purchasing from companies, buying things from companies owned by white males. But then when a Black woman is involved, suddenly we hate spending money, and we hate money, period. It's not making no sense. You're not fooling me. I know what this is. We're going to do whatever we can to discredit Beyonce. And now that she essentially was a model basically for this necklace that Tiffany's has had for 200 years, now that she was basically just modeling in the ad, now everyone cares about mining and diamonds. But like, what do we really even know about mining? Do you really know? No, you don't. According to supplyjungle.com, I mean, take it with a grain of salt, child, but a supply chain for jewelry will typically look something like exploration, mining, sorting, cutting, polishing, jewelry creation, inspecting and certifying, and finally selling the final product. Perhaps because it's easy for it to go unnoticed, corruption is a facet of many aspects of the jewelry supply chain. From mine to market, there's a ton of touch points where things can go wrong from a social or environmental standpoint. For many brands, there's simply no way to find out what country the raw materials, diamonds or gold, were mined, let alone what specific mine and under what specific working or environmental conditions and production. So what does that mean for the approximately 85% of women who are going to at some point walk around with an engagement ring on their hand? What does that mean for the people who are going to buy those rings for those women? What does that mean for them? What that means is we as a whole are all participating in an unethical market. Diamond mining is it's sketchy. It's just sketchy. So this issue is bigger than Beyonce. It's bigger than Tiffany's. Another instance where capitalism is exploiting groups of people, exploiting countries, exploiting workers all along the way. To some extent, we can't really completely separate ourselves from that. Most likely, you yourself will have a hand in supporting an unethically mined diamond if you haven't done so already. A Twitter user posted this tweet here. All of us are dirty. No ethical consumption in capitalism, right? But I afford Black folks a lot more grace given who actually controls the means of production and who has the monopoly on forced coercion on the planet. We are all just gladiators in their arena. This sums up perfectly what I am trying to say. All of our hands are dirty when it comes to dipping into realms that are sketchy and are shady. There is no ethical consumption under capitalism. I don't say this to say it doesn't matter what Beyonce does or it doesn't matter what we do. I do think to the best of our abilities, we should try to do right by the world. We should try to be involved in things that we can be proud of. Be involved with companies that are doing their best to do right by the people who are working for them. There's only so much we can do. If we decided to not get involved with anything sketchy, we would not be involved in any, like we would all be living in the woods. Like I don't really understand. And maybe we wouldn't even be there because let's be honest, this whole entire country was stolen. I mean, if this is the hill that we want to die on, we could go on and on and on because yes, this land belongs to the Native Americans. This land doesn't belong to any of us. And we're here, we're buying houses, we're living on it. I mean, it gets really messy. And I feel as though when people make tweets like the ones that I showed you in this video, I don't think people are thinking all the way through. I think they want to dump all of their angst and their anger on Beyonce, on this one visible person, and that's not okay. She's not the one who can solve these complex and century-old problems. Framing Beyonce as someone not to be trusted, someone with ulterior motives and a hypocrite, functions as a means to sully her reputation. People do not like Beyonce because they don't trust that she is the person who she shows herself to be. And I find that odd. We don't question men and their intentions and their honesty nearly as much as we question women, and not nearly as much as we question Black women. I find it very disgusting that there's this vendetta to continuously try to do the aha, gotcha when it comes to Beyonce and who she is as a person. We don't know this woman. We don't. All we know is what she shows us, her actions, what she's done. At the end of the day, Beyonce is a entertainer and Beyonce is a billionaire. I don't really know what you guys want from a person who fits in those two categories. Beyonce is Beyonce because we made her that. We made Beyonce Beyonce. We bought her albums. We streamed her music. We attended her concerts. We reposted her photos and her photo. Look, we make Beyonce Beyonce and then we get mad at her for being Beyonce. It's very weird. People are only as famous as we allow them to be. People are only as wealthy to an extent. Obviously, like, we can't control all of that, but her getting to the degree that she's gotten to, her even getting to that level, we got her to that level. There's this weird thing that Twitter does where we build people up and then subsequently won't stop until we break them down. Beyonce anti-fans bring up her shortcomings all the time as if her fans are not aware of them. Her fans are aware of her shortcomings. Nobody looks at Beyonce and says Beyonce is perfect. No one does that. I think most people are saying Beyonce's hot, Beyonce got a cute ass, got a pretty face, and she can sing. All the anti-Beyonce people go out of their way to try to paint her as this evil person and be like, haha, see, and it's like, no one has ever said that she hasn't made missteps, because I do think that the general consensus is that Beyonce's a billionaire. She probably could do more with her money. I mean, you know what I mean? I think generally speaking, like, we're all aware of that. I don't really know what the point, what their aim is with these tweets. I really don't get it. And honestly, I just think it stems from jealousy and envy. I don't like it because Beyonce has essentially been run off the internet because of all these shenanigans, and it's not fair. I think that just because she's super popular and super well liked, does that mean that she can't be like in an ad for a diamond company? I don't know. She doesn't need them. They need her. I just think it was something fun she wanted to do and she just did it. And I don't think that it needs all of this thought behind it and all of these think pieces. I don't think that it requires that. And I want to give Black women space, even billionaire Black women. I want to give all Black women space to be all of who they are. To be all of who they are. And if she feels like she's the poster child for a freaking diamond, okay. It was already in the vault. It's not gonna go back to Africa. They've had it for centuries. I don't know what else to say. I am not saying, for the record, that her modeling a stolen diamond is a good thing. But what I am saying is that I don't look to entertainers for answers to my questions. I do not look to entertainers to answer questions that are meant to be posed to politicians and civic leaders. When we're addressing and we're venting, I do think we need to go to the right people and to the right places. And I don't think we do that enough. If you're not going to put your energy towards the people who can make change, don't put it towards the singer and the dancer and the songwriter. Like, does that make any sense? Like, this type of thing is not going to stop because people need a place to vent and they choose to emotionally dump on Black women, and that's not gonna go away. But what I will say is Beyonce don't care about what y'all gotta say. She gonna keep doing what she doing. Like, I don't know, like, y'all have the same thing pieces and it ain't stopped nothing yet. Her fans are still her fans and she's still rich. I don't really know what y'all want to happen anyway. I have said everything I'm going to say. Thank you for watching my video, even though I looked naked the whole time, child. But I will see you guys in the next one that I do. So, bye.